Hey, greetings from Texas. All right, today we're going to take a look at a holster made by Warriorland. I first learned about their company after watching a review by Dave of Dave's Bushcraft Shooting and Hunting, and on a tactical light. So I checked out their website because I liked his review and found out they made holsters. I was also at the time looking for a holster for my Smith & Wesson 9mm M&P shield. Currently, the only thing I had is this generic holster, which is fine, but I really don't recommend if you're going to conceal carry this type of holster. I would, with the technology out there, I would definitely recommend something molded and a little bit more secure without this cumbersome strap. So yeah, I don't necessarily like these. So it's just good for protecting the gun as far as I'm concerned. I normally carry a Ruger SR9C with 16 round capacity, but I like to travel, and traveling takes me into states that have the 10 round magazine limit. So that's why I have this option with this M&P shield. So I reached out to Warriorland on their Twitter page. They said they would love to have me do a review. Asked me if there was something particular I wanted to review. So I thought, well, what better thing to review than a holster for my M&P. I am not sponsored by them, so they know that I'm going to do an honest review, and I'm not going to recommend something that I don't think is worth it. I will have a product link for this particular holster, model holster, down in the description box. I will also have a link if you wish to look at their website and check out their products in case you want to buy any of them. So let's kind of take a look at this holster. Now I prefer outside the waistband OWB holsters as opposed to IWB inside the waistband. It's just what I prefer. Having carried a firearm for 30 years every day, comfort is a big deal for me, and I'm just used to an outside the waistband holster. So I'm not going to get into the debate which is better. You have to find out what works good for you. Some of the cons for me for inside the waistband holsters: number one is comfort. Number two, I may be wearing my sidearm when I'm here at the ranch working and I sweat a lot. I don't like that, to have that feeling. And if you're wearing it all day, it can be uncomfortable, at least for me. You have more of a profile with an outside of the waistband holster, but I just prefer it. What's more important to me is quality and durability, and also value. And it came in a plastic Ziploc bag. I threw that away. But off the get-go, you'll notice the belt clip here. I chose this finish. They have other finishes that look like kind of a carbon fiber look to it. They are running a special now. If you buy a holster, you can get a free magazine holder, magazine pouch. So if you're looking for a holster right now, that might be something to consider to get that free bonus. So this has a slight angle forward. Typically these holsters that come like this are loose. This only requires a Phillips screwdriver. So what I did is there was a small amount of play. I went ahead and tightened these down. Don't over tighten them, just get them snug. You can adjust the retention by adjusting these screws. These were loose, and I went ahead and tighten them down. This gun is not loaded, for all you Karens out there. Anyway, I like to adjust it to where I hear a positive click. And that way it's not coming out unless you pull it out. Now this holster is cut out in case you have one of those folks that like to have the red dot sights. It does have a wide opening on the bottom. Some of the models will will facilitate a tactical light. So you have a lot of options there. So off the get-go, this is my preferred finish. I do like the workmanship. It's really sturdy. I think it's a polymer plastic. There are, more expensive holsters out there, but, as far as value, I don't know if they're any better. I typically run a Phobos holster, but they don't have this adjustable retention. At least the models I have are older, don't have it. So I like that feature. Now, during my career in law enforcement, I had, during one time a foot chase and 2 other occasions during a fight, I had my gun fall out of the holster. That was no bueno. Fortunately, it didn't end up being a problem, but it can be a problem. So retention is one thing I look for. And again, you want to adjust this to your liking, but you want to make sure that you hear that good click. So we know it's not going to fall out. One big thing is a pet peeve of mine, which I see people putting their concealed carry holsters on, is they put them in with the gun in. Don't do that, okay? Every day when I went to work, I took my gun out, I checked the status, made sure my magazine wasn't rusted in, and to make sure, depending if you're carrying live chamber or not, to check the status of your weapon. So when you are putting a holster on, take the gun out. Okay, it's lighter, it's easier to handle. Get everything situated before you put your weapon into your holster. The other thing that is important is for you to have a good quality belt. If you're going to conceal carry, get a decent, I recommend a leather belt, at least somewhere around 1 3/4 to 2 inches wide. This will accommodate I think 1 3/4 size belt, or it looks like a 2-inch belt. Typically when I carry, I wear, this is a concealed carry shirt. It actually has pockets here to put a weapon in, ambidextrous. It's lightweight, it's breathable. I just like to wear it over my gun. That's just the way I prefer. So we're going to take this and put this on. I like to put my finger in there, spread it apart. Get it inside the belt. Make sure those claws are underneath your belt. And at that point, you can insert your firearm. So this is a look with this particular garment. Now you have the option too to go to a 5 o'clock carry. Again, just from my years in law enforcement, I'm just used to coming down to this location here. So my typical draw is clearing my garment, getting my weapon out. When you put your weapon back, I go back to the revolver days. I cover the back of the slide or the trigger if you have a revolver with your thumb. That way when you're putting it back, your hammer doesn't get caught on your covered garment. Okay, this is another garment I carry. with. I typically like carrying this because I wear t-shirts. Again, I always have a cover garment. I like this. This will even facilitate a small pocket pistol, but I like having the pockets to carry my phone and all the other stuff. But for me, it's just a matter of clearing my garment, drawing my weapon, and getting on target. Okay, like any other new equipment, you need to practice with your holster. This fits and draws similarly to my Phobos, so it's a matter of where you're going to be carrying it and do practice. Again, I'm a big proponent of dry fire practice. You practice with your gear. When I trained police officers, we had a list of, it was called 10 Steps to the Grave. And these were all 10 different factors, things that were factors in police shootings that got officers killed or injured. And one of those, besides knowing your terrain, your escape routes, was familiarization with equipment. Officers would buy different retention holsters they wouldn't practice, and as a result, they were unable to get their weapon out, or their weapon fell out when they were running or jumping fences or whatever. So get out, know your gear, know how it's going to work before you need it in a real situation. All right, overall, I think this is a good value holster, particularly this model. Again, I haven't tried the other models. I'm very happy with it, and I don't really see any reason to go out and shoot with it because I do practice drawing quite a bit. And again, this is easy to operate. It is optic ready. And I think if you're looking for something, now their products value go from $19 on up. I think this one retails for close to $30, which is what a Phobos holster goes for. I would recommend this product for an outside the waistband holster. All right, I hope you enjoyed this look, and I appreciate you stopping by. Again, there'll be links down in the description box, and I'll also have a link on my community page and my About page.